What's up, everyone? The AI war just went nuclear. In the past week alone, we've seen over 50 major updates drop. OpenAI fixed their biggest mistake. China released not one, but two models that are challenging GPT-5. And right now, there's a courtroom battle happening that will decide the future of how you shop online. I'm breaking down the 10 most important AI updates from this week that you actually need to know about. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, hit that subscribe button right now. And before we jump in, I've got a free weekly newsletter where I break down all the latest AI tools, what's worth your time, and what you should skip. Link is in the description below. Let's dive in. First up, OpenAI just launched GPT 5.1, and this is massive. Here's the backstory. 3 months ago, when GPT-5 first dropped, it was supposed to be their biggest leap forward, but users immediately started complaining on Reddit and Twitter. The model felt stiff, robotic, weirdly formal. Even Sam Altman admitted they messed up. The model was technically brilliant, but it just wasn't enjoyable to use anymore. So OpenAI went back to the drawing board, and now they're back with GPT 5.1. Here's what's actually different. GPT 5.1 now has two distinct modes. First, there's Instant Mode, designed for quick, everyday questions. Second, there's Thinking Mode, built specifically for deep reasoning and complex problem solving. The Instant Mode is where things get interesting. It's now much warmer and conversational. They added 3 personality settings: professional, candid, and quirky. You can literally tell ChatGPT how you want it to talk to you. But the real breakthrough? Adaptive reasoning. Instant Mode now figures out when it needs to pause and think before responding. Simple questions get instant answers. Complex problems? It takes time to reason through them properly. Then there's Thinking Mode. This one's twice as fast on simple tasks and twice as slow on complex ones. It's literally adapting its processing time based on what you're asking. And they fixed a huge problem. All that confusing jargon and technical terminology? Gone. The language is now simple and clear, even when explaining complex topics. GPT 5.1 is rolling out right now to Plus, Pro, and Business users. Free users will get access later this week. Now, while OpenAI was fixing their model, China just proved they're winning the AI race. They dropped 2 massive updates in 1 week. First, Moonshot AI released Kimi K2 Thinking under a modified MIT license. And get this, it's open source and it beats GPT-5. Within hours of launch, their servers completely crashed from the traffic. That's how big this is. Here's what K2 can do. It plans multi-step workflows, searches the web, writes code, and executes hundreds of actions autonomously without stopping to ask for permission. On humanity's last exam, the hardest AI benchmark that exists, it outscored GPT-5. While every other top model is locked behind a paywall, Kimi K2 is open source and just as powerful. Developers are calling this a turning point, but China didn't stop there. Baidu had an absolutely insane week. They dropped Ernie 5.0, an AI that combines text, images, audio, and video all in one model. It can understand and create across all these formats simultaneously. And this is crazy. They just released Ernie 4.5 a few days before that. Ernie 4.5 is an AI that sees and thinks with images. It can zoom into photos, read tiny signs you can barely make out, and solve math problems just by looking at them. The best part? Ernie 4.5 is completely free for commercial use. No licenses, no restrictions. Any company can download it and start using it today. You can try Ernie 5.0 right now through Ernie Bot or access it via Baidu's cloud platform. This is China's way of saying they're not playing around. While China is giving away AI for free, India is making its first real move in the global AI race. IIT Madras just built something called the Indic LLM Arena, and this could be huge. Here's the problem they're solving. Every AI test checks if models work in perfect English. But when you're texting in Hindi or mixing Tamil and English, those tests are useless. AI for Bharat at IIT Madras saw this gap and created a leaderboard that tests AI for how Indians actually communicate. Here's how it works. You visit the website and type or speak your question in any Indian language. 2 different A is answer you, but you don't know which is which. You just pick the better answer. When thousands of people vote, we figure out which AI actually works best for Indians. Why does this matter? China crushed it in AI because they built their own models and made them free. Their entire population became AI literate fast, and their data stayed local. That one move gave them a massive competitive edge. India did the opposite. We became the biggest user base for ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, building their empires for them. That's why Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI are all rushing to open offices here. But through the Indic LLM arena, India is now deciding what good AI means for India. And the timing is perfect. India is building its own AI models right now under the India AI mission. Next up, Google just announced they're launching AI into space. It's called Project Suncatcher, and the first satellites launch in early 2027. Here's what they're doing. Google is testing whether their TPU chips can handle space conditions. Solar-powered satellites will carry 4 TPUs that run AI workloads directly from orbit. This is early-stage research to see if their TPUs are ready for an actual AI data center in space. And this makes total sense because in space, you get unlimited, unfiltered sunlight. Space-based solar panels capture 8 times more energy than ground panels. But there's one challenge. In space, the sun's radiation hits directly. There's no atmosphere blocking it. So Google tested their chips in simulation, and the chips survived 15 times more radiation than required. They're good to go. Google is partnering with a company called Planet to launch 2 test satellites with 8 AI chips total. If this works, Google will have access to unlimited clean energy for running AI. This is a massive leap in the AI race. While Google was planning their space mission, OpenAI dropped 3 features in 2 weeks. First, ChatGPT Interrupt. Remember how once you hit send, you couldn't stop ChatGPT midway if you forgot to add something? That's fixed. You can now pause and add context during lengthy queries without restarting or losing progress. Just hit update and ChatGPT adjusts. This is crucial for deep research. Second, Sora character cameos. You can now upload a video of your pet or brand logo, and Sora turns it into a character. You can then use that character across multiple videos. You can build an entire library of AI characters and use them whenever you want. And lastly, Indie QA. It's a new benchmark OpenAI created to see if their AI actually understands India. Not just the language, but the culture, traditions, and how people think. This was a calculated move from Sam Altman because India is the second largest user base for OpenAI. But OpenAI isn't the only one with multiple updates. Google just dropped 4 AI features that change everything. First, Mixboard, a tool that lets you doodle on images, and AI instantly gets it. You're planning a birthday party. You've got your banner and balloons. Grab the pen tool, draw where you want something added, then tell it, add Sophie to the happy birthday banner where the red circle is. Boom. AI generates it exactly where you marked. You can mark multiple spots at once and it understands composition, foreground, background, layering. No more typing long instructions, just draw and describe. It's free at labs.google/Mixboard. Next, Gemini Live just got voice superpowers. Google rolled out native audio, so now it talks like an actual person, not a robot reading text. You can tell it to speed up mid-conversation and it adjusts on the fly. Ask it about Julius Caesar and it'll do a full accent. Want a cowboy accent? Done. Third, 2 AI agents that manage your entire marketing. Ads Advisor and Analytics Advisor drop in December for all English accounts worldwide. Ads Advisor lives inside Google Ads and doesn't just suggest changes, it applies them. Analytics Advisor is basically a data scientist in your dashboard, and the plot twist nobody saw coming. Google launched Private AI Compute. Even Google can't see your data. They built a secure cloud environment that processes your info with Gemini models, but isolates everything in Titanium intelligence enclaves. Your personal data and browsing patterns are locked down in what they call a trusted boundary. It's already live on Pixel 10 devices. Now, here's where things get spicy. Amazon just took Perplexity to court. Here's what happened. Perplexity built Comet, an AI browser where you can say, find the cheapest dog food on Amazon, and Comet logs into your account, compares products, and buys it. You skip the ads and sponsored results and get straight to your product. Users love this. So what's Amazon's problem? This skips all their ads and ignores sponsored products. That's a direct threat to their $56 billion ad business. On October 31st, Amazon sent a legal notice claiming Comet pretends to be a regular Chrome browser instead of identifying as AI. 3 days later, they filed a federal lawsuit. Perplexity fired back. CEO Aravind Srinivas called it a bully tactic. Then they pulled an absolutely savage move. They released a blog post titled "Bullying is Not Innovation" and said, Amazon wants to kill user rights so it can sell more ads. But here's where it gets interesting. Amazon built their own AI shopping assistant called Rufus, and they're blocking everyone else's AI, OpenAI's, Google's, Meta's. But their CEO just told investors they want to partner with other AI companies. The plan is simple. Sue the competition, then team up with whoever survives. If Amazon wins, websites everywhere can start blocking AI assistants from shopping for you. But if Perplexity wins, AI shopping bots can continue helping people get the best deals. The future of online shopping is being decided in court right now. Apple just secured its AI future by paying Google $1 billion a year. Here's what happened. Apple's been promising a smart Siri for 2 years, but keeps delaying it. Turns out catching up to ChatGPT while it keeps getting smarter is nearly impossible. So Apple tested OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google, and picked Google. Not because it's better, but because it's cheaper. Apple's getting a custom Gemini model that's 8 times bigger than what Siri runs on. Gemini will handle Siri's summarizer and planner functions, the parts that actually need to be smart. It launches in spring 2026. But there's a catch. Apple's running all of this on their own servers through private cloud compute, not Google's infrastructure. Your data stays with Apple because Apple is building its replacement. Classic move. Lean on others until you're ready. And finally, 11 Labs launched the iconic marketplace this week. It's a platform where companies can legally use celebrity voices. Every voice is approved by the actual person or their estate. British legend Michael Caine already signed with them. Voices like Maya Angelou, Alan Turing, Judy Garland, John Wayne, and Burt Reynolds are now available. Over 25 legendary voices, ethically licensed. Companies can submit requests and deal directly with the celebrity's team. 11 Labs learned their lesson after last year's incident where they copied Joe Biden's voice without permission. Now they're doing it right, getting permission and signing contracts before cloning voices. Plot twist. Matthew McConaughey's newsletter, Green Lights, is getting a Spanish version narrated entirely in his AI-cloned voice. Hollywood just went AI, but this time actors are actually getting paid. So here's my question for you. In 20 years, will we even know if we're talking to the real person? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this valuable, smash that like button and subscribe for weekly AI breakdowns. Check out my free newsletter in the description. See you next week with more AI updates that actually matter.